You were about 2 seconds off from that, so I think they just got nerds. Welcome, hello, and everyone back to another Caffeinated Conquest stream. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're seeing this. You're reading the words that I have typed, or maybe it's a TLDR. I'm not certain. What are we doing, CafCon? Well, Josh and I, and a lot of our viewers, we had a lot of fun, and we got a lot of really good reception from when we did the Eye of Argon, about a month ago, 2 months ago, I think. It was a blast. We loved having it on the channel, and we thought, you know what? This is a lot of fun. There's a ton of cringy stories on the internet. Let's do this again, because I, Chaz LaBelle, I write fiction, specifically fantasy. Josh here has a degree in literature, and for some reason, we enjoy seeing people do to it what Griffith did to Casca. So, with that in mind, the first stream... The first stream of every month is probably going to be some kind of live reading. We're going to alternate between doing this and the RPG Imaginarium Live. If you missed that last month, I will have it up on YouTube soon. I'm trying some new stuff with the thumbnails. That's kind of delayed it a little bit. Gomenasai. Tonight, we've got a real gaggle of some fun shit. And also, Austin is with us. Austin, we fucking love you, buddy.
I don't believe you.
Well, you know, I am hurt that you would question my feelings like that, and I feel invalidated.
I've been lied to before. I don't trust anymore.
All right. I guess that's enough of the preamble. So, our first story tonight, chosen by Josh, is a Trekkie's Tale. Josh, would you like to tell us a little bit about this story and why you've chosen it?
When you're trying to think of cringy internet stories, I thought we could go back to the beginning, before the internet. Where the term Mary Sue itself was created. So apparently, this story is where we get the term Mary Sue, as in a self-insert character who is better than everyone else at everything, and all the main characters fall in love with her. This is actually a parody of an already set-up trope, and the story I think was written like in the 70s in like a fanzine. So like already by like the time of the 1960s, we already had cringy stories from fans of nerd media.
That is 100% true. Pardon me for just a second. It seems I missized the chat. And boom, there we go. We're just going to overlap a little bit, but that's okay because we're all friends here. And we are masculine enough to be able to hug. Josh, whenever you're ready. So, again, let me just explain the rules. We're going to use the rules of the Eye of Argon party game. If you are unfamiliar with that, one person is going to start reading a story. We read it dramatically. We read it phonetically. That means we say typos as written, not as we think they may be intended. Number 3, if any of us laugh at any time, we have to pass it to the next person. I guess we'll go clockwise. Sure, why not? That works. And if any of you have commentary at any point, by all means. So everybody else is going to follow along. Josh, if you would like to start with A Trekkie's Tale by Paula Smith.
By Paula Smith?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Ooh, and it's spilling everywhere. A Trekkie's Tale by Paula Smith. Gee, golly gosh, Glorioski, thought Mary Sue as she stepped on the bridge of the Enterprise. Here I am, the youngest lieutenant in the fleet, only 15 and a half years old. Captain Kirk came up to her. Oh, Lieutenant, I love you madly. Will you come to bed with me? Captain, I'm not that kind of girl. You're right, and I respect you for it. Here, take over the ship for a minute while we go get some coffee, for us. Mr. Spock came onto the bridge. What are you doing in the command seat, Lieutenant? The captain told me to. Flawlessly logical. I admire your mind. Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, and Mr. Scott beamed down with Lieutenant Mary Sue to Regal 37. They were attacked by green androids and thrown into prison. In a moment of weakness, Lieutenant Mary Sue revealed to Mr. Spock that she too was half Vulcan. Recovering quickly, she sprung the lock with her hairpin, and they all got away back to the ship.
I have to wonder, why is that salient? By the way, I'm half Vulcan, and we're free!
Hello, Mary Sue.
I mean, yes, but this is the what's the word I'm looking for? The genesis of Mary Sue. This is from whence the tropes spring. So why did Paula Smith decide that she needed to do that?
I would argue that the Divine Comedy is one of the earliest ones.
Dude, I agree with that 100%. That is the world's first self-insert fan fiction. If you've never read L'Inferno, Oh, here's all these famous persons. Oh, hi, Dante. You're so great. Thanks, famous person. I'm going to go meet another yeah.
Oh my god, Richard, you're so
right.
cool.
I would argue
not
a
have my
little more
scout
nuance than
camera
that.
on it.
One of the most insulting things I ever heard in one of my literature classes was we were reading Paradise Lost. And this is a course focused on the works of John Milton. And this girl was like, I just couldn't get over how much Satan fan fiction this story is. And I was like, how dare you?
Fiction. How dare you?
But back on board, Dr. McCoy and Lieutenant Mary Sue found out that the men who had beamed down were seriously stricken by the jumping cold Robbies. Mary Sue less so. While the 4 officers languished in sickbay, Lieutenant Mary Sue ran the ship and ran it so well she received the Nobel Peace Prize, the Vulcan Order of Gallantry, and the Tralfamadorian Order of Good Guyhood. However, the disease finally got to her and she fell fatally ill. In the sickbay, as she breathed her last, she was surrounded by Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, and Mr. Scott, all weeping unashamedly at the loss of her beautiful youth and youthful beauty. Intelligence, capability, and all-around niceness. Even to this day, her birthday is a national holiday of the Enterprise.
The end. So, Josh, as a literary scholar, what notes would you have if somebody brought this to you in your class?
Nothing. It's perfect.
Why didn't you bring it sooner?
I would be like, you should probably try to develop your character more. This seems to be just you, but better.
Now, it is important to note that Miss Paula Smith did write this as a parody of fan fiction that was going around at the time. So she deliberately intended it to be this crap.
Yes.
But I find it amazing that what she has created has withstood the test of time into legitimate writership.